It's time to turn the page to week 3 of the NFL season.
What are things you can do to try and push the thoughts of the losing streak out of your head? I imagine it'd be exhausting if you sat there and thought, it's been 13 games.
No thought.
No thought at all?
No.
Boom! Let's take a look back at the results from week 3. TPS experts had a heck of a week, going 13-3. But unfortunately, we missed our lock of the week with that shocking outcome in the Cowboys-Cardinals game. The Madden simulation struggled last week, going 7-9, but the world was able to match our team with an impressive 13-3 record. So that puts the season standings at TPS 30-21, Madden 20-28, and the world narrowly holding on to its first place with a 33-15 mark. There was no exact score predictions this week, so all in all, we got 2 winners walking home with some TPS bucks. First up, we got JJ Snake 5677, who somehow called that the Saints would botch a potential game-winning field goal. As well, we got Bruh Chill, who nailed it, predicting that the Texans would snap their losing streak on the strength of 2 passing touchdowns from CJ Stroud. So there you have it. Big congrats to our winners, but now on to week 4, where, you guessed it, there's gonna be another opportunity to earn some TPS bucks. And all you gotta do to make sure that you're in the mix is, after you vote, number 1, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. Number 2, like this video. Number 3, comment below with your bold prediction for week 4. Alright, you got it? Good. Now, without further ado, let's get into the action. Green Bay Packers versus Detroit Lions. The Green Bay Packers are fresh off their heart-stopping victory against the Saints and headed to the Motor City to face off with fellow NFC North member, the Detroit Lions. The fans are back in the pack in this one, despite Detroit's hot start to 2023, with 78% of the voters siding with Jordan Love's squad. And, well, the computer is in lockstep, predicting a convincing 21-0 Packers win. You know, our experts, however, are predicting another thriller for Green Bay. Only this time, they finish on the wrong side of the bounce and lose a close one, 21-20. Atlanta Falcons versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Game in London. The Atlanta Falcons are coming off a tough game with Detroit and are gonna have their work cut out for them this week, having to hop the pond to play the Jaguars in London. They're home away from home. The TPSers are siding with the honorary home team in this one, with just under 70% of the voters taking the Jags. Madden showed a close one, again favoring the Jaguars. Our experts are seeing this one fairly similarly too. We see Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley bouncing back after an embarrassing L to the Texans to win this one empathetically 24-13. Los Angeles Rams versus Indianapolis Colts. Monday night was a challenging affair for the Rams. They ran into a revitalized Bengals team that was fighting for its season after starting 0-2. But they'll have a chance to bounce back this week as they head to Indy to face a Colts team that is riding high after an impressive overtime upset over the Baltimore Ravens. The community is backing the Rams with approximately 70% of the voters taking them, which, based off the Madden sim, is probably the right move, as it is envisioning a 16-14 Rams W, which effectively ended on an empathetic Aaron Donald sack. The TPS pickers are in agreement that the Rams will take this in a low-scoring affair. Final score, Rams 13, Colts 10. Baltimore Ravens versus Cleveland Browns. Baltimore had a heck of a letdown this past week, dropping one in overtime to the Indianapolis Colts. And they're going to have their work cut out for them with a divisional matchup at Cleveland in Week 4. Our fans think that they're going to get back on track, by a narrow margin I might add. But the Madden sim has some other ideas and showed the Browns taking this one 16-11, in part thanks to a sack on Lamar Jackson that led to a safety. Well, our experts are also back in Cleveland. It looks like Kevin Stefanski is finally starting to find a groove with that offense, even without Nick Chubb. And you know, their defense is for real. Final prediction, Cleveland 17, Baltimore 14. Minnesota Vikings versus Carolina Panthers. The Minnesota Vikings had a heartbreaking loss to the Chargers in Week 3 to fall to 0-3 and will be desperate to get right against the now Andy Dalton-led Panthers team. 81% of the fans think this is the week that Kevin O'Connell's group finally gets it right. But the Madden sim shows otherwise, with the Panthers winning by a healthy margin of 45-24. Our experts don't quite see it that way though. The Vikings team isn't perfect, but they just have way too much talent to drop to 0-4. Look for a big afternoon out for Justin Jefferson and a 31-20 Minnesota W. Cincinnati Bengals versus Tennessee Titans. After a strong showing Monday night against the Los Angeles Rams, the Cincinnati Bengals are officially in the win column and are now headed to Tennessee to face a Titans team that was brutalized Week 3 by the Browns. The public believes that Burrow and the Bengals are officially back. Madden has some other ideas for this one, though, showing a tightly contested Tennessee win by a final score of 24-21. The TPS experts are aligned with the world, though. We think that Cincy's going to start rounding into form and will win this one by a final of 23-17. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs have been one of the best surprises in 2023, but they came back down to earth Week 3 against a tough Eagles side. The world thinks that Tampa is for real, or at least for real enough to get back on track. And Madden is also a big believer, predicting a 35-7 win. Our team, on the other hand, thinks that New Orleans defense will be way too much for Mayfield and co. We see the Saints taking it 20-18. Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills. It was a pretty big week for the Buffalo Bills, who got right in a big way, smacking around the Washington Commanders. But they're set to host the Dolphins, who just dropped a 70 spot on the Broncos. So this one has all the makings of an instant classic. The public is siding with the Fins in this one, as is Madden, which predicted a 25-15 W. The TPS experts are going to go with the reigning division champs, though. Josh Allen looks like he's starting to find his groove. We're saying that the Bills take this in a close one, 26-24. Denver Broncos versus Chicago Bears. Chicago is hosting the Broncos in a game that is already in the running for the 2023 Toilet Bowl. The polls think that Sean Payton gets his first win with the Broncos. Madden has some other ideas, though. The game closed with a dramatic Justin Fields touchdown to DJ Moore, followed by a scramble for a 2-point conversion to win the game 18-17. The TPS team is upset that this game even exists. Look, it just has all the makings of a snooze fest. But we're giving the Bears a slight edge here. Final score, Chicago 10, Denver 7. Washington Commanders versus Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are set to host the Washington Commanders and will be looking to move to 4-0, furthering their case to defend their NFC crown. The public is loving the Birds in this one, with 90% of the voters backing Philly, as is the machine, which predicted a 17-13 win sealed by a Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown on 4th and 1. Our team thinks that Washington will bounce back from a tough showing against Buffalo and be competitive, but ultimately be outmanned and come up short. Eagles stay undefeated, taking this one by a final of 24-20. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Houston Texans. The Texans are coming off a big win and welcoming another Week 3 victor, the Pittsburgh Steelers, to town. 75% of the voters think that the Steelers' defense picks up where it left off against the Raiders and gives rookie QB CJ Stroud fits. Madden seems to agree, as it predicted a thorough 28-10 Pittsburgh win. Just a tad more aggressive of a pick than our experts, who do like the Steelers in this one by a final of 21-10. Las Vegas Raiders versus Los Angeles Chargers. Alright, the Chargers finally got into the win column last week against the Vikings and now have a chance to build on that momentum in Week 4 with the lowly Raiders coming to SoFi. The world is pretty confident that Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and co. keep the good times rolling. In fact, 86% of the voters are taking LA. Madden, on the other hand, is zigging, or rather reverting to the norm, and has the Chargers losing a close one on the final possession. With the Raiders up 19-13, Herbert is trying to take LA down the field, but fails on a 4th down conversion and loses the game. Yeah, honestly, our experts aren't sold on the Chargers either. Look for the Raiders to have their best offensive performance of the year and squeeze out a 33-30 win in what is sure to be a high-scoring affair. Arizona Cardinals versus San Francisco 49ers. Arizona looked real good this week against what we believed to be a top-of-the-line Cowboys team. But it's going to have its work cut out for it against San Francisco. So much so that we're making it our lock of the week. Yeah, and for pretty good reason. 94% of the public is also taking San Fran here. Madden has them winning 35-21. And our experts think that Purdy's crew rolls comfortably to a 28-7 win. There we go. A nice little consensus pick for our lock of the week. New England Patriots versus Dallas Cowboys. Dallas will be looking to rebound from a stunning Week 3 loss to the Arizona Cardinals as it welcomes Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to Jerry's World. Well, the world thinks that Dak shows up for this one, and Dallas takes it. As does the Madden Sim, which predicted a 31-20 win. The TPS team has some other ideas, though. New England didn't exactly look great last week. but they were victorious and played sound football, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. We think that this is the part of the season where some threads start to come loose for the Cowboys. New England wins a tight one, 20-17. Kansas City Chiefs versus New York Jets. The Kansas City Chiefs and New York Jets are two teams that are trending in vastly different directions heading into their Week 4 matchup in MetLife. TPSers have clearly seen enough of Zach Wilson in the future Jets offense, with 94% of the voters backing the Chiefs, something that the Madden sim backs up after showing a 35-21 thumping. Our experts think that the Chiefs cruise as well, but not quite as explosively as they did last week against the Bears. Kansas City takes this one comfortably by a final of 24-3. Seattle Seahawks versus New York Giants. MetLife is on double duty this weekend, with the Giants set to host the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night. Seattle is a pretty popular pick for the world, with 86% of the voters taking the Seahawks. The Madden sim showed a different outcome, with the Giants winning 24-17 against its old quarterback, and doing so in dramatic fashion, sacking Geno and then forcing him into a game-clinching interception to Cordale Flott. The TPS experts actually like New York in this one. Brian Dable is too good of a coach to let this season slip away after a few tough early season matchups. We're saying that the Giants win a tight one, 26-23. So there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Then add your own bold prediction down below for a chance to win some awesome prizes. And of course, be sure to vote on next week's games starting Sunday night in our community section. Then tune in next week to see if you won.